silently or loudly, however you want to gauge it, evictions are on the rise in the United States. Since the moratorium was lifted, what people feared or expressed concern has actually come into existence, and that is a plethora of people are being displaced. What are your thoughts on that, Dane?
Well, I'll just try to lay out some of the facts so people can understand what's actually happening. And so they themselves, if you're renters, you can keep an eye on what's going on, or you can probably go out to try to get the resources to help you out. So evictions are up 38%.
Wow.
Evictions are up 38%, and there's a couple of different reasons for that. One, the courts are finally catching up on the COVID backlogs. Like, since COVID shut down, there's just a backlog of evictions. So now they're finally getting to them. And like you said, the moratorium ended in August. So from, I want to say, October until now, they've been running through those eviction cases in the courts. And now you have the courts, you have the rising prices. But the biggest thing that I've seen is some locales have had pieces of this $46 billion rental assistance, and they haven't distributed it to anybody. And there's like 28% of the 46 billion that was given out has not been given to the people. And what happens is, when you don't give it out, you don't keep it, they lose that money. So if you're a renter, go look into see if your locale is one of the places that has rental assistance, because there's a lot of places that have actual rental assistance from the federal government.
But what it is, I understand, even though they have to give the money back, so the money is given to a municipality, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever. So you get the money, and the money sits in a bank. Well, money collects interest. If we're talking about millions of dollars, the money collects interest.
Billions.
They used to, okay, billion. There you go.
Yeah, we're talking about billions.
There it is. So yeah, so it's just like the joke was, when I went to FAMU, was they would hold the disbursement checks, your refund check, they will hold it and they let it sit in a bank so it could accrue interest, and then they would distribute it after it accrued whatever amount. This is the same thing that's going on in these municipalities, and the money that is the interest that is accrued, the money goes whatever the municipal leaders, municipality leaders, deign it to go. Is that the word? Deign. Yeah, I can't even look. Sorry, it's twisted. So yeah, so this is and another thing, I was looking at the numbers in terms of the eviction filings and the eviction rates. Now it's I would say it's mixed, but Georgia has one of the highest eviction filings to date. And we're talking about, in a lot of these are in the Atlanta metro area. It's 203,000 eviction filings. This is from the Eviction Lab, which is an institute that studies trends in eviction and what is going on. And they're really paying attention, to what's happening after the eviction moratorium ends. New Jersey has a lot of eviction filings. Virginia has a lot of eviction filings and a lot of evictions. Up there is also South Carolina and Texas. So a lot of these states are red states. Right. So a lot of these states are red states, and there's a visible Black population there, and brown population there. And as well, the distribution of wealth is exceptionally noticeable. So this is going to be so in a place like did the California governor extend something about evictions or?
Yes, the California governor extended it. I don't know if he lifted it so far, but the last thing I heard was that he was extending the moratorium on evictions, but then he was also trying to give relief to owners who were not receiving rent.
In your opinion, what is the fallout or the ramifications, the social ramifications, when you have these large amounts of evictions?
Well, there's a few things, right? So when you have a large amount of evictions, you have a lot of displaced people. When you have a lot of displaced people, things that can happen can be higher crime rates, because people trying to get it how they live it, as we spoke about on another show. Things that happen is gentrification in these places, because some of these places, people are trying to find ways to get the Black and brown populations out so they can start gentrification. So once the moratorium is ended, people see that housing prices have ballooned and went up. So it's like, I can sell my place right now, but I got somebody in there renting it. Once I get them out of there, I can now probably double my profit because, it's hard to find houses right now, or houses are very expensive to get right now. Like I've been with a few people who've been house hunting, and it's kind of crazy out there because people know, right now it's a seller's market. So once it's a seller's market, they're trying to gouge everybody and get everything they can. So that's the other thing. So with it being a seller's market, you think about it, it's already a seller's market. And now you're coming into a plethora of properties to sell, get rid of, or like I said, turn over into gentrification, or places that don't have rent control, like Inglewood. I've been seeing a lot of people in Inglewood have been talking about, the rent was already crazy with the moratorium, but once the moratorium was lifted, a lot of our landlords have been trying to double and triple the rent because the stadium is now built, the train is being built, and they know that there's a lot of development that's about to come through these places. So they're trying to price people out. So those are just a few of the ramifications that are going to come from all of these evictions.
Yeah, I was reading in Los Angeles, particularly, there is definitely a push to build out a full metro rail system. They've been doing it in pockets in different areas, but now they're saying, our intentions are, in order to have this rail system. The irony is there was a rail system in Los Angeles. It was actually gutted and removed when GM Motors and all of these car barons brokered these deals with California legislators in order to create an area or location in the country where people had to buy cars.
Supply and demand. They want to create their own supply and demand. They did.
This is really interesting. Another thing people don't talk about in terms of homelessness is the babies, the children, education. A lot. Oh my goodness. We have to do something on education here. In Philadelphia, they said that teachers are the rate that teachers are leaving is up to 200%. And this is not anything alone, but one of the things that evictions do, and I talked to a lot of teachers, and I talked to a special ed teacher, and she was talking about when you have a child in your class, and often some of these children are in the same class for years. You broke a relationship, but these children are being displaced, or if they are in foster care, and people also, these homes where children have been disrupted, or they had to be removed, or the home is no longer there. It then creates these severe social, educational gaps in the development of our children. So this is also talking about the future ramifications that are going on too as well. So we need to definitely look at evictions and also the mayors of these cities and legislatures, and what they're doing about it, or what they're doing to fuel it, as we know.
Some benefit from it. Mm-hmm. Some are feeling and benefit from it. Yeah.
Oh yes, like Eric Adams in New York, who calls himself the real estate man. Ironically uses the same slogan. I told you this, that Eric Garcetti, two Erics, Eric Garcetti uses in Los Angeles, which is build, baby, build.
Yep.
Which is the motto.
Let's embark on the Ark Republic to hear current news that's published. More than gossip and chatter, covering current affairs that matter. We talk issues with professional views, all keeping you in queue. We wanted a higher vibe for these days and times, to free the voices and minds, reporting the sign of the times, so all can build. Let's shine, yeah.